Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Good to see you all. Thank you for joining in. Hey, guess who I just finished talking to on the phone? I just finished talking to literally like less than 1 minute ago. I just finished talking to Miss Ann from the Fairbanks Food Bank. So we're coordinating when we can meet up so that we can do our pre-Thanksgiving donation to the food bank here in Fairbanks. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I was talking to her for about a good 10 minutes or so, and things aren't good. Even the food bank here in Fairbanks is really struggling with being able to feed hungry bellies. So we're going to see what we can do for them next week, and hopefully we can pull a miracle through. I'm trying to find some turkeys for them so that people can eat turkey on Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen, because that's tradition here in the United States. We like our turkeys on Thanksgiving. Some people don't, but that is tradition, at least for me and my family. It has been ever since I've been here. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, from now until like the week before Christmas or the Sunday before Christmas, every Sunday, I am going to be giving away a really nice prize to someone in the live stream chats. All right, so if you're going to catch at least one live stream per week, make sure that you're here on Sundays, all right, so that you can have a chance to win. It's just a way of me paying it forward to all of you, the ones that make this community successful. All right, so it's just a way of me saying thank you for being here whenever I put up a live stream. So every Sunday from now until the Sunday before Christmas, I will be giving away at least one very nice prize. I can't tell you what it is because I don't even know. But I'm going to be picking out some things that I think are very nice to have and in the prepper or in the preparedness realm, all right? Like, let's say water filters, generators, whatever, all right? Whatever they have available on Amazon that can be shipped quickly, I will be giving away at least one thing every week, all right, ladies and gentlemen? So make sure that you're here at least every Sunday. The demise of our economy, the demise of our jobs, the demise of our supply system, the demise of our financial system, and the demise of our liberties. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, you can call me crazy if you want. This has all been planned. It's all been planned, and we are only about halfway through it. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is no easy way out. There is no easy way out for us to avert the things that are coming. And I'm going to stick to what I've always said, that the best thing that you can do is prepare in every way possible. So I'm going to tell you right now what I'm going to be doing to get better prepared for what's going to come about next year. Things are going to get really rough. And I know people don't want to hear this. The average person does not want to hear that they're going to be wondering where they're going to get their next meal because they didn't take the time to prepare. The average person does not want to hear that one day they'll be told whether they can travel or not on the same roads that they pay taxes for and that they've been paying taxes for their entire lives. The average person don't want to hear that, ladies and gentlemen. The average person wants to stay in a state of normalcy bias that allows them to feel good about where they live and how they live their lives. The average person would rather own nothing and be in debt their entire lives because it makes them feel rich. That's your average person. Ladies and gentlemen, when I got married and my son was born, I told myself, my life is no longer mine. My life now belongs to my family. And my family is my responsibility. And I will do whatever it is that I have to do to make sure that they will be okay in any circumstance. So if you're one of those people that thinks that someone else is going to take care of you and your family, by all means, go ahead and think it. And if you're one of those people that lives in the here and the now and that's it, and doesn't think that anything bad can happen because it's never happened in your lifetime, which is called recency bias. Only because nothing bad's happened recently, it means that it can never happen again. If you're one of those people that believes that, then by all means, continue living your lives and then live with the consequences of the decisions that you make. Food shortages, they're going to continue. In my opinion, remember, this is all my opinion, all right? Food shortages will continue. They will continue for the future. I'm not talking about the rest of this year. I'm not talking about by June next year we'll be okay. I'm talking for the future, for like the next 2 or 3 years. They will continue as long as they have to until the majority of the population is broken and they are willing to give up their liberties for a loaf of bread. They are going to use food to try to starve out. And who is they? Who is they, AP? The people that want to rule us, the people that think that we are cattle. And you know that those people exist. The people that think that we are useless eaters, right? That's one of the names that's used, useless eaters. The people that have all the money in the world. And now that all the money in the world hasn't brought them happiness, they now look towards control in order to bring some fulfillment to their lives. So food shortages will continue. And those of you that are out there saying, well, if I buy 5 bags of rice, I feel guilty because then someone else in the future may not be able to get rice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tell that to your kids when they're starving. Hey, Johnny, I only bought 1 bag of rice, even though I could have bought 5 and put away some for the future. Tell that to your kids when they're starving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's probably rough. I'm not saying to go to the market and buy the last 5 of anything, especially if you're prepped. I'm not saying go to the market and buy the last 5 of anything, because if you're prepped, you should just be filling in the gaps. But if you're not prepped, you should be buying a little extra every time you go to the market. Every time you go somewhere to buy something of sustenance or something that brings value to your life, you should be buying that little bit of extra. If you're already prepped for at least a year, at least 1 year, you should be filling in the gaps. And then prepping things that you may have forgotten, like maybe extra fuel, extra propane tanks. Doesn't hurt to have 1 or 2 extra. Extra butane tanks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, because food shortages are going to continue. And don't ask me how I know. I just know it. I just know food shortages will continue. It is the best way and the most efficient way to break a people is when you starve them. Look at the USSR. Look at what they did in Ukraine. How do they control people? By starving them. Look at China. You know, back in the, what was it? I think it was the 20s and then the 40s or 50s, something like that, where tens of millions of people, if not upward of 100 million people, lost their lives from starvation. So you better count that food shortages will continue, and you better prepare for food shortages, because things aren't going to get better when it comes to food. They're going to try to make us want and beg for that bug burger, for that cockroach burger. The economy, ladies and gentlemen, is gone. The economy is gone. It's not going to get any better. Nothing that I'm going to talk about here today. So for anyone that came here for a feel-good Tuesday, I'm sorry. But these are just the honest and dark truths that we have to live with and that we have to prepare for if we want to be able to carry on and have somewhat of a semblance of the standard of living that we are used to today. Just a semblance of it. The economy is gone, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to push this thing that they're pushing to the very end. They're going to keep pushing it until we don't have enough workers to do anything. The economy is gone. They have to create such a crisis that we will be begging for our own demise. The economy is not coming back. Ladies and gentlemen, by this time next year, unemployment will be 50%. Right now, unemployment is about 25%. If you take the real numbers, of the people that are able to work, that are of able body, and that are of working age, and you divide it by the number of people that are working, then unemployment is about 25% right now. This time next year, unemployment, I'm putting it at about 50% than what it is this year. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. I will pray to God. I will pray that I'm 100% wrong. I will pray that I am 100% wrong. And I will pray that at this time next year, we are celebrating because we are looking forward to the best Thanksgiving that we've ever had in our entire lives. I am praying that next year, on the 4th of July, that it will be a real 4th of July, that we can actually celebrate what it really means. And that would mean that what I'm telling you right now is 100% wrong. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather be prepared for what I'm telling you and I'm about to tell you than to not be prepared. And I've used this saying a few times. For the naysayers out there, you can afford for me to be wrong. You can afford for me to be 100% wrong, and I wish that I am. But can you afford for me to be right? Can you afford not to prepare? And what I'm telling you, or even 1/5 of what I'm about to tell you, can you afford for me to be right? So why are you not preparing as much as you can? Is money really that important to you? Is having money in the bank really that important to you? I am getting rid of everything I can, ladies and gentlemen. I am getting rid of whatever paper bills, whatever paper I have. I'm getting rid of it. I'm changing it for stuff that's real, for things that actually have real value. I'm getting rid of it. Because eventually I know that we are going to need it. Now, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but you have to take a look at what is that dollar bill really worth? Does it make you feel good to see those digits on your bank account? And if it makes you feel good seeing those digits, then why does it make you feel good when those digits represent nothing that is real? And this thing that they're pushing, this thing that everyone should have, is going to be, they're going to keep pushing it. And they're going to keep making it harder for people that don't have it. That's just a fact. I could care less whether you have it or not. I could care less whether you think it's good for you or not. I support you 100% if you want it. I support you 100% if you've gotten it. I support your free will to make a choice that you want to make for yourselves and your families 100%. But those people that aren't going along with the narrative and don't want any vitamins that are being given out for free by the government, those people are going to be, they're going to be demonized. They are going to be demonized. It is going to feel like 1940s or the 1930s in Germany. That is how they're going to split up our populations. Those people that don't want to take that vitamin, those people are going to be made to look like the enemy. They are going to be shut down. They are going to be censored. And they are going to be separated into a second class of people. And you can see it happening already. So what I'm telling you right now is not really very far-fetched when you can already see it happening in certain states more than others, where you can't go into this restaurant if you don't have this. In Dominican Republic, I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, Dominican Republic, you can't go into a bank unless you can prove that you've accepted the vitamins that they're handing out. You can't even do that. You can't go into a supermarket unless you can prove it. So here in the United States of America, the freest land in the world, the beacon light of freedom as the world has known it for centuries, there will come a day where you will need to show your papers. And eventually they're going to tell you, you have to do it. Because if you don't do it, we're going to hold you down and do it for you. That's what it's going to come down to. So remember here, I don't know how many live streams ago, remember when I said you need to hold on to your 2A. Because if you don't hold on to your 2A, it's over. The only thing that is keeping this country right now with a semblance of any kind of freedom is that we have the 2A. And in my heart, I feel that it is something that will not be given up. It will not be given up. That if it's taken from us, that it will be taken by force, but it will not be given up. However, in my opinion, if it is ever tried to be taken by force, I feel that there will be a second revolution in these United States of America. Because there are enough freedom-loving Americans. There are enough, ladies and gentlemen. You see, this is where hope comes in. But with liberty, with freedom, that all comes at a cost. And I feel that in my lifetime, that we will see having to pay that cost again in order to have liberty, freedom. Who was it? Thomas Jefferson? The tree of liberty must be refreshed with the blood of tyrants and patriots every few generations, something like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's where we're headed to. Why do you think I've been saying for the last several years, prep? And I've been saying, in this last year, more so than in years past, that it will come down to a fight, unfortunately. And I was hoping that that's going to be a long time away. But with the way that things are accelerating, I'm just thinking that it's going to be sooner than later. And I just hope that I'm wrong, because I don't want that to happen now. But we have to prepare for that, ladies and gentlemen, because even old buzzards like me that really can't run 20 miles, they can't, go out and put on a backpack and walk for 20 miles or 10 miles, whatever. Even old buzzards like me, we have to prepare. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, an army fights on its bellies. What does that mean? That without resources, without those things that an army needs to fight, the army is not going to be able to fight. So it is people like Grayman, right? Grayman. It's Grayman that win wars. It is Grayman that put away stuff in order for those that are able to fight to go to the fight. So we need to prepare. And I don't care who hears me. I don't care anymore. Someone left me a message, and I read the email and I deleted it without responding back. And it was a very, very nice person, very nice lady, saying, I'm really worried about you because, you show what you have on your channel. And what if somebody follows you home one day? And I said, then they follow me home. And if they try to do something bad, then what happens, happens. But I don't care anymore who hears me say it. I don't care, because it's the truth and we need to know it. We need to know it. So what? So what? Okay, I'm sure I'm already on someone's list in the government. I'm sure I'm already on someone's list. So, they come in, whatever happens, happens, ladies and gentlemen. But that's what freedom is. It's living with the consequences of the choices that you make. Now, if for me, it means that me coming out here and telling people, listen, we need to prep up because patriots are going to need our help. People that love freedom are going to need our help in the future. And if you yourself can't fight, then prep up even more. That way, those people that love freedom, those people that love this country for what it really is, not for what it has become. Those people that want to earn their living through the sweat of their brow. Those people that know that they have the opportunity to do whatever they want and become whatever they want. The key word, ladies and gentlemen, is the opportunity. We all, in this country, we all have equal opportunity. Is it difficult for some than it is for others? Absolutely. I forget the name of this gentleman. He's a really good guy. He was in the government in the last administration. Ben Carlson? He's a neurosurgeon. That gentleman, he came out of the ghetto with nothing, with absolutely nothing. And he became a neurosurgeon, and then he became the director of HUD, I believe, under the last administration. He had to struggle. And he was like one of the best neurosurgeons in the world. And he made it. Why? Because he had the freedom of opportunity. He had the opportunity. Now, I'm sure that some others that grew up in the circumstances that were equal to those that he grew up in ended up not doing very well. It's because of the choices that they made, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to help to preserve this nation, become as prepared as you possibly can. The voices of the opposition, ladies and gentlemen, will start getting shut down. That is why I said in the past, and those of you that have been here a while, I'm sure you've heard me say it. I've said that eventually preparedness channels on YouTube and on social media will get canceled. I won't be here. Eventually, people that are out here telling the masses or telling those that will listen, people that are out here telling those that will listen, you need to be prepared. Because what's coming is not good. We will be canceled. All right, ladies and gentlemen? And yeah, I'll tell you what, it'll break my heart when that happens. It'll break my heart. But it will happen eventually. Unless some kind of miracle happens between now, and probably the next 2 or 3 years, we'll be canceled, right? And they're going to shut down people that speak the truth. They've been doing that for the last couple of years now. If you speak the truth, you will be shut down in one way or another. And one of their dreams, ladies and gentlemen, one of the dreams of the establishment is this, that something happens where they have to induce martial law. Why? Because technically under martial law, the Constitution is null and void. But I was thinking about this. If under martial law, the Constitution is null and void, that goes both ways, right? If the law of the land is no more because someone said, let it be by edict, then I believe that goes both ways. And I believe that they will have a rude awakening in thinking that they can just break any laws that are protected under the Constitution or break any liberties that are protected under the Constitution. Just because they say the Constitution is null and void, we're going to have martial law. I think that in itself will accelerate what is inevitable. The last thing that I'll talk about is this. Next year, ladies and gentlemen, now this is my opinion. Remember, everything that I've been talking about is my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, next year, they are going to crash the market. They have to. There is too much opposition to this thing that's going on today. There is too much opposition to the vitamin. And there are too many people with statute. There are too many educated people that work in the field that are coming out and saying this is wrong. There's too many. They have to create a crisis that makes the people say, please help me. Because this crisis that's been going on for the last 2 years, too many people are saying, you can keep that stuff. I don't want it. And now people are quitting because they are adamant that they don't want the stuff. Well, what else can they do? They have to create a crisis that hits everyone. And the only thing that I can think is a financial collapse. The market's at an all-time high. It hits every time there's bad news, it hits another all-time high. The dollar is being inflated away. The big banks, I think it was, I forgot what big bank it was, just a couple of days ago, again, warned that we're going to have a financial collapse. They've been talking about this for the last year, year and a half. I'm not talking about guys like me on YouTube that don't know anything. I'm talking about like big banks. They've been saying, listen, the market is going to crash eventually. They've been telling everyone this. But people are still in the stock market because they see it as free money. Every time that bad news comes out, the stock market goes up. You know why? Because these large corporations have become used to knowing that they're going to be bailed out. So whenever they hear bad news that should really mean that the stocks are going down, they double down because they know that the Federal Reserve is not going to let them fail. But eventually, ladies and gentlemen, when the time comes, they will let it fail. And it will be the biggest financial crash that has ever been recorded throughout the history of mankind. Because there is more energy floating out there in the form of debt than there has ever been in the entire history of mankind. And it is going to devastate anyone and everyone that has paper wealth. So that is why I like to put my excess wealth in something that will preserve my purchasing power, and in food, and in stuff, and in fuel. I like to preserve my wealth in stuff because I know that when the markets crash, my cans of Nutrient Survival are still going to be there. They're still going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. But all of those digits on a computer screen or on a piece of paper, they're not going to be there. Because that's the game that they play, ladies and gentlemen. They print all this money, and then the wealthy, when they get this money at low interest rates, they take that money and they buy stuff with it. They buy things that will gain in value as the monetary system is inflated. So the more money that the Fed prints, the more value that the stuff that they bought with the money that the Fed prints gains. That's how the rich stay rich. Get prepared the very best that you can. Think outside the box. Think of everything that you use and how you can preserve it to last for a very long time. Preserve as much fuel as you possibly can, in my opinion. I just made a purchase of some more fuel cans because what I have, I feel is not enough. So get as much stuff as you possibly can. That way you'll know that you have it. Because in my opinion, you're going to need it. We are going to need it. And remember to keep your humanity, ladies and gentlemen. It is their plan to pin us against each other. It is their plan to make you hate me and to make me hate you. It is their plan to keep us from helping each other. Why do you think they tax the living heck out of us? It's part of their plan. They not only tax us so that they can steal our labor and control us, but they also tax us so that we can be less charitable with each other. I was pretty disgusted today. I was pretty disgusted. I don't even know if I already mentioned this during this live stream or not. But I was talking to Ms. Ann, the CEO of the food bank in Fairbanks. And I asked her what she needed. And, she told me she needed turkeys, right? Well, earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, I was talking to my tax preparer. And we were going over my taxes. And they told me, they said, well, all that charity that you do, none of it is tax deductible. And I was like, really? None of it is tax deductible? They're like, no, charity is not tax deductible unless you go over a certain threshold, right? Which is a lot, right? It's a lot. And even after that, it's really almost nothing. And I said, man, isn't that something, man? I said, they make it so that you don't even want to give. And I was ashamed of myself. I felt ashamed of myself because when my tax preparer told me this, I automatically thought to myself, well, I'm just not going to do that much charity. And ladies and gentlemen, I was ashamed of myself for thinking that. We can't not let them win and take away our humanity. And I will not do that. I'm going to do even more charity. I don't give a crap if it's not tax deductible. I don't care if it costs me money. I'm going to do even more. So what I had planned on giving to the food bank this year, I'm going to double it. Because we can't let them win. We are still humans, and we are still brothers and sisters, and people got to eat, right? People have to eat. I know that today I covered some stuff that is gloomy and doomy, and you know why? It's not gloomy and doomy. It's reality. It's the world that we live in, and it is what I see coming. Anyone here that has eyes that are open, that are not walking around with their eyes wide shut, per se, can see that we're heading in for some really rough times. We're heading in for some really rough times that's really going to test our humanity, right? It's going to test who we are. That's why I say that even now, ladies and gentlemen, even during the hard times that we are having now, have it in your heart to give. Have it in your heart to help your fellow human being, not caring where they're from, what their religion is, who they call their God, who they love, who they marry. Not caring about that, but just caring that they're fellow human beings. Because, you know, if we do the right thing and we are steadfast in doing the right thing, in the end, ladies and gentlemen, I know it. In the end, good will prevail over bad. Good will always prevail over evil. There may be some hard times ahead, but in the end, we will come out victorious because that's how God wants it, and that's how he'll have it. Other than that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. I'm looking for the outro here so that the newcomers can see the bunker when it's nice and clean. Remember to be good to each other, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way that we're going to make it through this. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. God bless you all. I'm out.